Hi, you're watching 2 Minutes with Tim. I'm your host, Tim Dodge, and this is my fitness trainer, Brady. And I just wanted to touch base with you for a minute or so. Somebody smells the biscuits I've got in my hand. About some recent news about the notices that insurance producers have to send out to their policyholders about the COVID-19 pandemic. The big news, in case you haven't seen the announcement that we sent out yesterday, and by the way, I'm recording this on Friday, April 10th, is that you are not required to send out the notices through the U.S. mail. We heard from the Department of Financial Services yesterday that you can email the notices, put them on your website, put them on Facebook. One member suggested taking out an ad in the paper. That's fine. The thing I want you to be aware of is that you do not have to print off hard copies of the notices and put them in the mail. That should make it a whole lot easier for those of you who have staff working remotely or maybe just don't have the paper supplies because you haven't been able to buy any for the last few weeks. The other thing I want to make sure you're aware of is that we heard from the Department of Financial Services earlier this week that this regulation, the moratorium, the requirements for relaxation of payments, of being able to work out alternate payment arrangements, none of that applies to commercial lines policies written through non-admitted carriers. The department interpreted their regulation to mean that none of that applies to commercial lines if it's written by a non-admitted carrier. It does apply to personal lines policies written by non-admitted carriers. So, for example, if you have a homeowner's policy out on Long Island that's written through an E&S carrier, the regulation does apply to that. Does not apply to commercial lines. That said, if you have policyholders who have experiencing financial hardship because of the pandemic, it's worth asking those carriers or the wholesale brokers that you're accessing those carriers through if they will voluntarily do some of these things, because some carriers may decide to do that if for no other reason than to avoid bad publicity and or just to retain customers long term. So I wanted to make sure that you were aware of those two things. And somebody needs his biscuits, so I will end this video here, and for all of you who celebrate, I wish you a blessed Passover and Easter weekend. Thanks for watching 2 Minutes with Tim. I'm Tim Dodge, and this is my man Brady. Here you go, buddy. See you next time.